Welcome to the Halftime Show, your world of sports in half the time. I'm Colton the Bias, and today I am joined by a new co-host just for this week. Ray Hazenstab is joining the show. Ray, thanks for being on with me today.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Ray. So first off, we are going to discuss, obviously, anybody at UVU knows hockey is your favorite topic to discuss. So that is what we're going to open the show with the Stanley Cup Finals, as the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Dallas Stars are tied one game apiece going in to game number 3. So, Ray, I want to get your thoughts on the series so far. What do you think?
I've really liked the series so far. When coming into this, I thought this was going to be an unstoppable force of the Tampa Bay Lightning versus the immovable object of the Dallas Stars. It's lived up to that billing and more, because both teams have had momentum, the Stars in Game 1 and the Lightning in Game 2, it's come down to a goaltending battle between Anton Khudobin of the Stars and Andrei Vasilevsky for the Lightning.
So, Ray, I want to get your takes on this, because here's the thing I miss about the Stanley Cup Finals the most. Fans being in the stands. Now, because of the coronavirus, the games are being played in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, without any fans. But, the thing about the Stanley Cup Final is you just got to love the atmosphere that each arena brings. Like, especially like when the Penguins were in the final in 16 and 17. Like, I just loved how the town just got behind the Penguins, and it's like that with every other city, because we saw it with St. Louis last year. So, what do you think? Do you miss fans being in the stands as well?
For me, it's a double-edged sword. As much as I think, yeah, it feels weird without fans, it also looks nice. It's my opinion alone, probably, but it looks nice being able to look up and see the Stanley Cup, what you're fighting for right there. And even though you don't have the fans to back you, at the same time, if you're not doing well in that game, you don't have the fans to boo you on the other side of that coin. It's weird, but considering all that's going on, it's okay.
Well, I mean, for the times, I can understand why teams are doing it, but obviously, like, it is okay for the times, but I just hope that permanently this isn't the case. Like, I want fans to return to the arenas when it's safe, but that's a topic for another day. So Ray, knowing the Stars won Game 1 Saturday night from a final score of 4-1, and then the Lightning won last night, Game 2, 3-2. However, they had a 3-0 lead, and the Stars almost came back. So, do you have a favorite in this series to clinch the Stanley Cup, as actually both teams are actually going for their second in franchise history?
Oh, absolutely. For me, it's the Dallas Stars. The Lightning have been firing on all cylinders, especially with their top lines, even without Steven Stamkos. However, they're running into a team that's so far this postseason been able to shut them down. The Stars shut down Vegas in the last series, most notably Anton Khudobin with his .951 save percentage, and then they sent Colorado, who I thought was going to have a deep run. They sent them packing, which really surprised me considering what Colorado has been doing this postseason.
Now, Ray, so do you think the Stars have better goaltending, real quick, compared to, say, the Lightning with Vasilevsky, real quick?
I think it's just momentum, and the Stars currently have that momentum considering who they had to shut down in the previous 2 series.
All right. Thank you so much for that discussion, but we are going to have to leave it there. Coming up, the Lakers star LeBron James gets snubbed for the NBA MVP. Find out about our thoughts after the break.
All right, we're ready.
Oh, no. You are right here.
Is the win really necessary, guys? We need the win. Okay.
You go change. Awful. You. Awful.
Okay, I need someone to make me laugh.
Where's Wyatt? Wyatt's always late, duh.
I'm here. Jealous?
Get out of my way. Stop.
Cool. Okay. And now, we're smiling. There's a lot of noise going on. A lot of noise.
3, 2, 1.
Here at the Pioneer sideline.
We covered the real sports.
On another season, the Penguins are just getting started with the regular season this week.
Pioneer Sideline.
The show that starts your Friday mornings has returned with both familiar and new faces. Daybreak host Taylor Fife and Delaney Bomas are bringing you the latest updates in Pittsburgh and Point Park news. We also have a variety of talent on our free segments. Whether it be singing, dancing, or indeed egg smashing. Start your mornings with us at Daybreak on UView at UView Television.
Welcome back. As we mentioned before the break, Lakers star LeBron James, or as he is known as the King, was not sitting on top of the MVP race this year, as Bucks star Giannis Antetokounmpo was named NBA MVP for the second consecutive year. And there's a word that we can't say on these airwaves, but according to LeBron, he was, and you can fill in the word, ticked off at the results, as he only got 16 first place votes out of 101. So Ray, I want to get your thoughts on this. Did LeBron deserve the MVP or Giannis?
I think it was Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis, here's the thing. LeBron has a good cast around him. He had Dwight Howard, who's surprisingly been good. He's had Anthony Davis, who's been his co-star. Giannis, however, is pretty much on an island and had to basically carry the team, so he was the most valuable player of the regular season for his team at the very least. And here's some numbers for you. In comparing the two, he had a better field goal percentage by 6%. He had 331 more rebounds, 30 more blocks, and 159 more points than LeBron James.
You know, Ray, I've been on the fence on this all day. My brother is a huge Bucks fan, including Giannis. I got him a Giannis shirt for Christmas last year. But I don't know, like, Giannis deserved the award, but I seriously felt LeBron could have made his case too. The thing with MVP awards, I think if you're in the postseason, it should count for something, because the Lakers are still playing. They have a 2-0 series lead against the Denver Nuggets, in the Western Conference Finals. The Bucks, who were projected to go to the NBA Finals, and not to mention play the Lakers, they got eliminated in the second round by the Miami Heat. So I think that is one of the reasons why LeBron could have made his case for the MVP. And here's also a stat about that supporting cast, Ray. So this is according to stats from ESPN. The Lakers are plus 173 in 862 minutes when LeBron is on the court without his co-star in Anthony Davis. When Davis is on the court without LeBron, the Lakers were minus 29. So it just shows, yes, Anthony Davis is a great player, but it just shows how much more of an impact LeBron can have on the court. And also, I look back to last year. Yes, Anthony Davis was not on the team. He was still in New Orleans. But when LeBron unfortunately got injured around Christmas time last season, the Lakers went on a dive, and they missed the playoffs. So I think one of the reasons why LeBron could have made his case is the impact he had this season on the Lakers, as they were the number one seed in the West. And also, I think you can make the argument that the West has been more competitive than the East in recent years, and I think that's why LeBron went to the West after he left Cleveland. You got anything to say about that, Ray, before we have to go to break?
The West may be a more competitive conference, but at the same time, if you don't have a good team around you that can help you advance in the postseason, I mean, what really can you do? Also, keep in mind, MVP award does not include postseason. If we were including postseason, you could even maybe make arguments for Jimmy Butler considering what he's been doing with the Heat.
Well, that's an argument for another day, as we're going to have to leave it there. Coming up, Steeler talk. As they started the season 2-0, are they playoff contenders? Stick around.
The United Student Government at Point Park University, working since the 1970s to solve the issues that matter to you. What concerns do you have about the university? Student life, safety, food service? Send us an email to studentconcerns@pointpark.edu or stop by our office on the 7th floor of the Student Center. You can also attend our weekly open meetings on Mondays at 3:15. Follow us on social media at USG_PPU for more. The United Student Government, by the students, for the students.
The Point Park Sports Network, bringing you live coverage of Pioneer Athletics on Stretch Internet, the home of the River States Conference and the NAIA. Subscribe today for complete access to the Point Park volleyball, baseball, basketball, and soccer teams. Watch live and on-demand broadcasts and don't miss a minute of Point Park Athletics. Head to pointparksports.com/live for broadcast listings. The Point Park Sports Network, your streaming home for Point Park Athletics.
3, 2, 1.
Please visit our website. Please. It's a nice website. Please visit our website. Please.
If you have ever watched television, whether accidentally or on purpose, YouView is for you.
Welcome back, friends. Well, Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers are starting the 2020 season on a roll as they defeated the Denver Broncos 26-21 on Sunday, at Heinz Field to start the season 2-0. So, Ray, I want to get your opinion on this first, and then I'll go. After these two games, do you think the Steelers are playoff contenders, and maybe not to mention Super Bowl contenders?
No.
Wait, Ray, for playoff or Super Bowl?
I think either one. It's too early to say because they haven't had to face, they haven't had that litmus test yet. They've had to face the New York Giants, who are in the first year post Eli Manning and relying on solely Daniel Jones. For the Broncos, this is their first year with Drew Lock under center. And both teams have a lot of moving pieces around them that changed from last year to this. So I think it's too early to say because they haven't faced teams with teams that aren't still rebuilding, technically speaking.
Well, I kind of have a different opinion on that, Ray, because teams are teams no matter what. I mean, Drew Lock played pretty good last season when he was at Denver, and also you got to mention that Steelers front on the defense. They stopped what people were saying is the best running back in the game, Saquon Barkley, who actually unfortunately suffered a torn ACL yesterday in a game against the Chicago Bears. So but anyway, back to the Steelers. Super Bowl contenders, not yet. Playoff contenders, yes. And I thought that they were playoff contenders to start the season because you got to admit, it's going to be a little easier to get into the playoffs this year since they are expanded due to COVID-19. Yeah, but I actually do agree with you on the fact that, I do want to see them play teams that are not necessarily rebuilding but are legit Super Bowl contenders. Teams like the Baltimore Ravens and, dare I say it, the Dallas Cowboys. So I want to see how they play against those teams, and especially that offense, because Ben is having a revenge tour here. I predicted on Pioneer Sideline last year that he was going to come back better than ever. So I want to see if he can come back better against these other teams, because I really don't think the defense is going to be much of an issue. But the offense still worries me, because I still believe that players like Juju Smith-Schuster and James Conner need to step up, especially if they want to stay here in Pittsburgh. What do you think about that, Ray? Do you think Juju and Conner need to step up their games this season?
I think that they do need to step up the games to play against the better opponents, but so far it's been promising. I'm also going to just mention that with the Steelers going forward, they next play Houston, who I'm still trying to figure out why they traded DeAndre Hopkins.
I think it's a mystery to everybody, right?
It is. But I think their first real litmus test is having, for that defense at the very least, having to contain Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill 2 weeks from now. Because while there's still some patchwork that needs to be done, and they did overachieve last year in my opinion, I think that the Titans will be a good test to see, can they go forward and face these teams like Baltimore or even Dallas, as you mentioned.
Well, I mean, Derrick Henry is going to be a star this year, but hey, if the Steelers defense can handle Saquon Barkley, then they can handle the 2015 Heisman Trophy winner as well. Well, folks, that is going to do it for this edition of the Halftime Show. I'm Colton the Bias.
And I'm Ray Hazenstab.
And we thank you for joining us. We hope to see you right back here next week. Have a good night.